stalking his wife. Girl, who I think I am. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Since I have started at this new job, let's see how much I can read during the work week. So hopefully the first video back will have already been out before this one. And I did mention I'd started another job, yada, yada, yada. I also mentioned a car. I did in fact get it that Friday. I don't know where to put the camera because you can see the steering wheel. And I know if I am back or if I'm planning on making a few more YouTube videos before I, of course, leave again for some reason, it's gonna be in my car. I don't know where to put it because I can't put it here. This would be a good spot too. The thingy is here. Okay, well, what if I put it? That's too far though, and it's slanted. So I don't know where to put y'all. Y'all gonna have to stay right here. And I can't put y'all further back. Y'all gonna have to stay right here for now. It is 7:34. I do have my Kindle. And this is like the first week back or the first day back that I have my camera, I have my Kindle, I have my iPad because I'm still working on the first video back. I'm almost done with it. So I'm gonna try and do that this morning. I'm thinking I'm gonna try and edit in the morning. I did edit a bit before I left home. And then I'm gonna edit now as soon as I'm done with this. But I've started a bunch of different books. Again, I've mentioned that in the first video as well. Yesterday, I ended up starting Drifting Into You by Andrea Delaney. It's okay. It's like a 3 or 4 star for me. It's not going to be higher than a 4. I just don't really know what I want to read. And it's not bad. This is a novella. What are our characters' names? Gina. For some reason, her name being Gina is throwing me off. Gina. It's not Sam. Gina. Leo and Justin. And then there's another girl, her name's like Carmen or something. Anyways, so Gina is on a cruise because her brother and sister-in-law, her name is like Melody. I don't know what her brother's name is. Like Ethan or something. They're getting married and this is their bachelor/bachelorette party. So like the wedding party for like a week long or however long. They're on a cruise. They're stopping at different ports. The first port that they stopped at was somewhere in Florence. But anyway, so Gina has a crush on Justin. Justin is like a childhood friend of her brother's, but of course, her and her brother are like 5 years apart. She's 26. So I'm assuming Leo and Justin and her brother are about 31-ish. She has a crush on Justin. Carmen, or whoever she meets, she's not really familiar with everybody at this wedding party because her brother is a little older, and she couldn't bring a friend. But that doesn't matter because she's made friends with, again, whatever her name is, who is a part of the wedding party. But also just to paint the vibe for a second, her parents, or I think that's what she said, her parents made their brother and the sister-in-law, put her in the wedding party. She's a bridesmaid. Carmen, again, I'm gonna call her Carmen. I don't remember what her name is. Carmen has decided she's gonna help Gina with getting Justin's attention. It's kind of working. She's a little awkward, There's another character, and that's our main guy. His name is Leo. And Leo is a best friend of Gina's brother. They've known each other for a while. The reason why I found this book is because I saw the author promoting this on Instagram. Promoted it as like forced proximity. That's all I remember. Where Gina is, he's there. He's also witnessing her like freaking out, like trying to talk to Justin and whatnot. And we know the vibes of, look, I've been watching Love Island and how Trinity said that. He not effing with it. But let's see where I'm at. I think I'm like 30-something% of the way through. It's okay. Again, I was just trying to find a book to read. I've started a bunch of different ones. They just weren't holding my attention. I'm 51% of the way through. I have 52 minutes left. So I'm only planning on filming Monday through Friday and then Friday evening or whatever. Or I'll close it out, hopefully, fingers crossed, on Saturday morning or whatever time. Because I haven't really been reading much at home, to be honest. I've been reading more if I do read during lunch. So I get an hour lunch. I don't know if I mentioned that. And normally, if I have an hour lunch, when I have about 30 minutes, I'll pick up my book. So we'll see. I'm wondering if I'm going to force myself to read a lot earlier today because I'm filming this. And then like next week when I'm not doing what I read in the week. I'm gonna go back to reading how I normally do and how I've been doing. But I really want to stop playing on my phone. I was very scared. Was it Friday or Saturday? It was Friday or Saturday. Which I don't think it was the screen, but I was very dizzy for a while. Could not get up. I was getting up, falling over. And I'm thinking it was because of too much screen time. Not really, because I had some chest pain. Hope it wasn't no silent heart attack. Girl, I'm only 27. But yeah, I was very scared. But I've really been on my phone too much lately, so we need to get back into it. I'm on lunch. I'm sitting on the passenger side. I'm comparing this car to my Corolla, and I feel like it might be easier to film in here. I don't know, my camera's a little low in my opinion. I mean, you can see my fan. I hope y'all can't hear it. Let me turn it down. Hold on. That's on level 1. I don't turn no car on when I'm in here because I'm not burning my gas, okay? Yeah, I feel like the dashboard is a lot flatter. Actually, I find the front of this car to be a little lower than the Corolla because the dashboard I find is flatter and it's a little lower. I already have bird poop on the windshield. I'm not gonna show it because I don't want to show people's cars and whatnot. I'm still people watching though. So I did finish Drifting Into You. I have notes. I'm gonna give it a 3-star. It wasn't my favorite, but it also wasn't so bad that couldn't finish it. I think also knowing that it was a novella. I wasn't really in the mood to read it either. I also am basing that off of me not really highlighting that much. I maybe highlighted like 3 different things out of 100 and something pages. Not that there weren't things that stood out to me because I feel like, what was her name? I forgot. But the FMC as a character, some of the things that she was like describing and just being a little awkward and not wanting or being scared to like talk to Justin, who was her crush at the time. I feel like I did relate a little bit, but not enough to like highlight this. Like even if I were to highlight something, it would be like maybe one thing out of the entire book. And it wouldn't be enough that I would want to download the book again to read my highlights. The other issue is that what was left when I had stopped reading the book, does that make sense? What I knew I had left of the book, right, I was 50%-ish of the way through. What was left was the spice. I have to be in the mood for it. That still hasn't really changed for me. And then this was a novella, so it was a little rushed. And I needed more of them together prior to the spice. But obviously, it wasn't that long, so we didn't get that. The epilogue was very odd. I don't know. I don't think we needed the epilogue. I think she could have just ended it with the last chapter, maybe just add something else to the last chapter, but the epilogue wasn't needed. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna read next, especially on my lunch. I have a book that I want to read. I have 2 actually. The one that I really want to read, which is spicy, but I think knowing that I've read that author before, like the book that I'm thinking of, I think it's called like Resisting Temptation by NJ Weeks. Because I've read her before, I know what to look forward to with her spice and her books. I'm so excited to read it. It's just not out yet. I think it comes out, today's the 22nd, Thursday? Okay, that one is A Best Friend's Brother, Marriage of Convenience romance. I forgot what the first book is called. Indulging Temptation? Let me see. Indulging Temptation. Very good. I do have some books to finish. I just don't know if I want to finish them. The other book I want to read is Christina Forrest's new book. I gotta wait for my Kobo. It hasn't been shipped yet. If you watched my previous video, I did mention buying a Kobo. Before I had started the book that I just spoke about, Drifting Into You, I was reading a domestic thriller. It's called I Love You Too Much. I want to say halfway through. Let me see. No. I'm 19% of the way through. I gotta turn this up a notch. Hold on. Let's see what this was. So I think I'm gonna continue I Love You Too Much. There was really nothing wrong with it. I had just seen this author on Instagram and was like, hey, it's also short. So let me just read that. This is about Aviana. She is married. Wait, let me just read it to you because I think I also need to reread it. A husband's deadly affair sets off a chain of deception, obsession, and unraveling truths in this twisted domestic thriller where love becomes a weapon. The past won't stay buried. Buried, and the truth is more dangerous than the lie. Damar Scott, he is Aviana's husband. Damar Scott is a man with everything to lose and even more to hide. To the world, he's a devoted husband and father. So he does have a kid. He's in his teens, but it's not his kid with Aviana. he had a kid with someone else. But behind closed doors, he's keeping an explosive secret, an affair that ends in tragedy. Yes, that's actually how the book starts. We get a prologue with these kids. I say kids. I don't know if they were in college and they were off for spring break or they were teens, which now that I'm thinking about it, they must have been college students. But they're on a yacht or a little boat. There's a group of them. One of them ends up finding a suitcase in the water. It has a girl in it. She's dead. And then chapter 1 starts and we're obviously back in the present. So I'm assuming the prologue was the future. I don't know who it could be. Could it be Aviana? Could it be maybe the person he was having an affair with? I don't know who he was having an affair with. I do have a hunch. Bury the truth and preserve the illusion of a perfect life, no matter the cost. Aviana suspects someone is out to destroy her, unaware that the real threat lies much closer to home. As her marriage begins to unravel, she turns to Mythic, her first love and longtime confidant, rekindling feelings she thought she buried. Torn between past and present, and with her sense of reality slipping, Aviana inches closer to a truth that could shatter everything. As Daymar sinks deeper into guilt and delusion, and Aviana untangles the lies tightening around her, the truth erupts, warping love into control and exposing the wreckage left by secrets too dangerous to stay buried. In this book, we're getting 3 POVs. We're getting Mythic, who is her first love. He actually cheated on her when they were in high school, and Aviana, rightfully so, she's like, yeah, you're not going to do that to me again. They've been broken up, but they stayed friends. She also has another friend. Let me make sure. Is it Michelle? Is it Mia? Yeah, her name is Mia. So Aviana has a best friend named Mia. They work together. Mia is trouble all on her own. I'm gonna explain it, but they stayed friends. They have a small little friend group. Mythic has a club, like a nightclub or something. Now Daymar, who is Aviana's husband, she met, I guess they met in college, but she decided, look at my shirt. She decided to give him a shot, because she's like, I'm not doing that again with Mythic. We can tell she's not really into it. I don't know what made her marry him. Maybe she thought that was going to be her only other option. No clue. He's a strange man. He is actually a club promoter. So he works at the club that Mythic owns. He's always promoting stuff there. He is stalking his wife. I don't know why. I don't know what his issue is. Well, we do also get his point of view, which is insane. Actually, that's where it gets a bit repetitive because he's constantly saying, I have to do everything I can because she cannot do better than me because she's going to move on from me. So he's, I don't know if I would say mentally abusive because she just doesn't know it yet. Like, he's very manipulative right now. And I am assuming he did something to ruin her friendship with Mia. Now, Mia, like I said, is her best friend. They work together. They work at some kind of realty office, something like that, showing people houses and whatnot. Now Mia is a bigger deal than Aviana where they are. Oh, it's so hot. I need to stop moving around. But long story short, Mia is stealing from the company. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all what happened. I guess months ago, Daymar and Aviana threw a party. She ended up misplacing her phone. Daymar finds the phone months later. Mind you, she's already replaced it. She has a new phone. But what she never did, obviously because that one was lost, she didn't create another ID or something. So he decides he's not going to tell her, hey, I found the phone. He's going to keep it because he can now see in real time her text messages, her calls, everything. And I guess he finds out, and I know it's him. He ends up finding out that Mia is stealing from that company. Aviana also knows that. Mia gets herself in some trouble, and that's actually where I'm at. Mia called her because she was arrested and she's being investigated. And the people at this company do know that Aviana and Mia are very tight-knit. Aviana is telling them, I had no idea. She did. She absolutely did. I don't blame her. She wants to keep that job. She doesn't want to depend solely on Daymar. He actually wants her not to have a job, but sorry. I'm just a bit confused as to where the book is gonna go. You know what I mean? I definitely almost flashed y'all. This is day 2. It's Tuesday. I'm on my lunch. Lunch is actually almost over for me. I said that I was going to continue reading that mystery book or domestic thriller. I did. I attempted. I put it right back down. I got to turn this up some. One of my favorite bookstagrammers, I think it's Weekend Reader. I'll put her picture up. I told her that too. I always look forward to her Instagram stories because she'll post, just like her name says, she'll post like maybe Thursday or Friday the books that she's planning to read for the weekend, and then Sunday or Monday she'll recap what she read. And she's not really explaining the books that she's reading, she's just kind of saying what she thought about it. And sometimes she's not even done with them. You know, she'll say, you know, she's 15% of the way through or whatnot. But a lot of times I'll get book recs from that. And I wrote one down, Saddled with Finesse. This is book 1 in a series. And I started that, I guess I read the first chapter yesterday. And then I'm on chapter 4. I'm 7% of the way through and I probably have 4 hours left. 7 hours and 40 minutes. I do know the book is long. 377 pages. That's it. Anyways, that's what I decided to start. We'll see if I continue it. Not that it's not good. It's just I think I still haven't really found the right one, you know? I couldn't even tell you what it's about. It is some kind of like romantic suspense. Her return to the ranch meant she wanted no complications. His fresh start brought him to her. Let me just tell you all what I remember. There's a girl named Reese. I don't know how old she is. Her parents own some kind of ranch in their small town. She does not live there. It sounds like she was in an abusive relationship. I forgot what his name is. I thought this is because she doesn't live there anymore, right? She lives like maybe in a big city or something. I thought this was someone that she had met, you know, after she left, but I think this is someone that is still in her hometown. I haven't been told anything different. And she ends up going back. Now, mind you, it was bad enough, which that's still bad, but it was bad enough that she not only left, but she was broke. You know, she's working some kind of job, but she don't even have no $20. But she ends up going back for something. I believe her dad wants help on the ranch. Then we have, what's his name? Corey. We have Corey. Now, Corey is a single dad. He's got 3 kids. Actually, when we're introduced to him, he was late picking up his 2 sons. Like elementary school age or something. And then he was saying, yeah, you know, and now telling us, now I'm going to pick up my 2 going on 3-year-old. I'm like, hold up, how many kids he got? But he has 3. One of them is 2 going on 3, but they're all under 7. He just said that, the part where I'm at. He's divorced. I believe his ex-wife's name is Vanessa. And he just said that actually, that she not only divorced him, but it seems like she divorced her kids as well. Because that's why he was so late picking them up, the 2, because she's not picking them up. She keeps giving this excuse of she can't do it, or da 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 da. So I don't know how long it's been since her kids have seen her. But his aunt lives on, not the ranch, but lives in that small town. And she has invited him and his kids to stay there for the summer, because it is summer, so the kids are out of school. That gives him a chance to work on his landscaping business, or creating it, I guess, because that's what he wants to do. I don't know what he was doing prior to that. Where I'm at, he has just gotten there for his fresh start. It was supposed to be Vanessa's time with the kids. She already texted him, hey, I can't do it this weekend. What she's doing, I don't know. Something about finding herself. That's all I kind of know. But apparently it's dark. Like, the author has it that it's a small town romantic suspense, but even Weekend Reader, I forgot her real name, even said it was like a dark small town romance. I've seen a few of the reviews. I haven't read them, but I've just skimmed. Unless it's a review by someone who I know, I just prefer to skim because I'm always nervous that they might spoil something without them realizing it. But they were saying like, oh, like I thought this was going to be light and fluffy, and then lo and behold, this happened. So I'm assuming this is going to be Reese's, not background, but her story or her past coming to tarnish what she will have going on, because it is at the end of the day also a romance. Did not read this morning. Girl, I was so late this morning. Forgot my water. That was the first thing. Now that I think about it, and I knew that today was going to be a day. Forgot my water, so I was like, okay, I'll go to Family Dollar. Family Dollar was not open. I turned right back around. Then I stopped to the racetrack. Got a $3.59 Essentia water, which I do like this brand. I don't like Smart Water and all that. This is 50 fluid ounces, but still almost $4 for a bottle of water is insane. So I stopped there. At work, people coming in and out. In and out, in and out. I'm like, you'd swear it was the burger joint. In and out. I've never been there. We don't have an In and Out here in Louisiana. At least not where I live. So that's been happening. I hope that I'll be able to read some more. I'm liking that my reading hasn't changed this week, because I did mention I was nervous that, watch, I'm going to read so much this week because I know I'm filming. But it's kind of been the same. I was so tired last night. After Love Island, I went right to bed. Love Island, because I'm Central Time. So Love Island starts for us around 7:37. And I got to put my jacket back on. Number 1, didn't shave. Number 2, it's a spaghetti strap. And you can see my sports bra, but with the jacket on, you can't see it. But yeah, let me go. It is now Wednesday. I'm back at work. New day. I did not forget my clip this time because I come out here for lunch and I do try to put my hair up, which this is week 3, which you can tell now, but they don't know that. So for my peeps who have natural hair or you're just black, you can tell this is week 3. It needs to be done. This is the last week and then I'm gonna wash it. But what was I going to say? Okay, so reading. So I have some updates. My Kobo is coming in today. But I obviously still don't want to read on it yet because I know it is coming today, or it's supposed to be coming today. That's encouraging me to finish a book. So guess what? I put on hold the book I was talking about yesterday. Her name was Reese and something. It's just too long for me right now. And I decided this time to really go ahead and try and finish. This is my newer Kindle. That's why you can't see the book like my old Kindle. The one that I was talking about the first day. The domestic thriller. I Love You Too Much or something with Daymar, Mythic. What's her name? Mia. Mia's the friend. But what's her name? Aviana. That book. I decided to really go ahead and finish that book. I'm going to talk about it soon. But after this, tomorrow is the 25th. And tomorrow is when that romance that I've been... I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I've been wanting to read that for so long. Resisting Temptation by NJ Weeks. Like, I'll say, oh, like, this book is on my radar. It's on my TBR. I want to read this book so bad. There's not too many of those books that I describe like that as soon as it comes out or within the first week that I actually go ahead and read it. I've done it before, but I rarely do it. I'm planning on doing it with that book. And it's like, I really want to finish this book because I don't mind anymore, you know, starting books and then starting another book and another. At some point, I need to finish books. So I really want to try and finish this one today. And it's also Wednesday. Love Island did not play today. Also, my mom and I watched Below Deck, Mediterranean, which Below Deck in general, but Mediterranean, the one with Captain Sandy, is the one playing right now. I want to say it's like episode 3 or something, but it plays on Tuesdays, so we didn't watch Tuesday, so we're gonna watch it today. We're planning on it. If not, I mean, we can always watch it on the weekend. I'm hoping that not too much happens, that I can finish the book. That way I can start Resisting Temptation tomorrow and then I can finally get into my Kobo. But it's like, I wonder because of course I want to do a vlog around using my Kobo, just like I did my Kindle page turner not too long ago. I think I've already decided I might want to read a YA thriller or fantasy, not fantasy, girl. Who I think I am, a YA thriller or mystery. I don't read lots of YA anymore, and I find now that I've gotten older, and that's nothing to bash people who are obviously older than me who still read YA and stuff. I remember, you know, I used to read so much YA when I was like just getting into my 20s, and I remember thinking like, I wonder if there's ever gonna come a time where I really do grow out of it. Not only do I feel like I've grown out of YA romances specifically, but also new adult, to be honest. There's a book, I haven't spoken about it. There was a book that I saw, where did I see it? I don't remember if there was a mutual of mine who posted about it. I think so. That's how I knew about it. It's new adult. They're in college. I'm struggling to get through it. I haven't read it in weeks. What's it called? And I love the cover. Like, it's such a cute cover. In fact, I believe I stopped on chapter 11, and that is the one chapter they're about to like do something sexual. And I still stopped. Like, I didn't mind stopping before there, because sometimes the spice will sometimes make the book for me. Like, if I find it's really hard to get through, I look forward to the spice. But in this case, like, they're so much younger than me. I'm trying to remember their ages, but I'm pretty sure they're like 18, 19. One of them's 19. Let's just say they're 19. That's 8 years younger than me. Yeah, I'm just not into it anymore. It's called Love Unfinished. It's the Horizon Point series, book 1 by D.A. Alston. I had to put it down. Do I want to finish it? Sure. Like, there's no book that I've put down that I'm DNFing. Like, I'm just not going to ever finish it. Let's hope the good Lord stays the same, you know, and I don't not finish it because I'm like dead or something or in prison. But what's going on right now is I'm getting overwhelmed, and this happens occasionally. I'm just so overwhelmed by the amount of books that I want to read, and some of them just aren't hitting like I want it to. But right now I need to find the one book that keeps my attention. That's what I'm craving right now. I need to scratch that itch. After I do that, sure, I'll probably go back to a book that I started reading in February that I still haven't finished. But I just need to find the one book now, because why haven't I found one? Getting back to the one that I'm gonna continue, the I Love You Too Much whatever book, is getting good. It took 30%. But I feel like we're getting somewhere with the story. I know I read to y'all, I did a mix. I talked a bit about this actual synopsis, like when you read it. And then I also said, what was happening. Like I mentioned in the prologue that someone was dead and we didn't know who. I now know who. Like, we haven't been told who yet. I'm just on chapter 6 now. We are just now about to, the story's about to escalate, basically. And it now makes sense because I feel like reading the synopsis and thinking back on everything that I also told y'all, like, it felt like too many different things. You had Mia, Aviana's best friend, who's being investigated by the Fed. You have Daymar, who has stalker tendencies, who in fact is her husband. You have Mythic, who's her first love from high school. You have Aviana, I never mentioned that. Her true dream is to go back to school because she wants to be like a nurse or something. And Daymar's trying to stop her. It's so many different things going on. But now that I've gotten to the 30%, I now see the connection. I now see why we were told all of that, and it does actually all tie in together. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm also 30% into the book. So I feel like we might be getting into spoiler territory if I tell you who I think is dead and why they're dead. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say too much on that. I was about to say it's Friday. Girl, it's Thursday. I'm hoping I talked to y'all yesterday on Wednesday. I believe I spoke to y'all Wednesday morning. Oh, first of all, went to lunch. Well, I'm still on lunch, but I left and some old goat took my spot. So now I'm not under the tree. But I also made sure to eat there because I knew there was a chance that my spot might be taken. And I like it because it's one of the only ones with tree coverage, like a big tree. And I had to park over here. And I can already feel the difference because this is blowing hot air. It could be hotter, but that's what it's blowing right now. Normally it blows cool air. I mean, it's cool under the tree. But anyway, let's see where I'm at. I did get my Kobo yesterday. I thought about, it's blowing warm air. I thought about filming yesterday for lunch because I got it before lunch, but I was like, nah, let me try and read because I had my goal. I did not make it, so I didn't finish. Gosh, it's hot air. Now, what'll fix it is opening my door to get that cooler air, but I'm not doing that. But let me put my hair up. I didn't end up finishing I Love You Too Much yesterday. I only read until 63%, but then I finished the rest of it this morning. I don't know why, but I woke up around 5:23-ish. And I knew, like, I'm not about to go back to sleep because my alarm wakes me up for 6:10. But I normally wake up around that time anyway. I don't get out of bed at that time, though. Not till about 6:20. But I was like, you know what? Let's read. That's why I keep my e-readers in the bed for moments like that. I read until, like, 83%. And then I finished the rest after I was getting ready that morning. Well, this morning. I have notes. This is in no particular order. Well, the only order that this is in is from where I left off yesterday, me writing as I'm reading. I think I told y'all that there was so much, and maybe not because I don't remember if I updated y'all in the afternoon yesterday though. But at some point, like, there was just so much going on when I really thought, I think I did say that. But there was just so much going on. Daymar and his shenanigans, Mythic and the Mexican cartels, and his girlfriend Leilani, and it was so much. I'm like, hold up. Now, I did mention that this book had multiple POVs. It was Mythic's that I hated. I never cared about what he was talking about. Now that I finished the book, I understand what was going on in his chapters and how it related to Aviana and their story or her story. But I also did not care at the moment. I did not care about Leilani, who is his girlfriend, or again, I finished the book, so was his girlfriend, or him and the Mexican cartels. He's actually an illegal arms dealer. That is his job. So that's why he dealt with the Mexican cartels. Didn't care about none of that. I hate to say enjoy, but I couldn't wait to get to Daymar's point of view and Aviana's point of view. Mainly Daymar, to see what he was up to. It is a short book. I mean, I don't even think it's 300 pages, but it felt like I was hardly making progress. Also, I was constantly thinking about how much I had left. You know, yesterday I was reading and I'm like, I think when I picked it up yesterday afternoon, I was maybe like 30-something% of the way through. And then I picked it up again, I started reading and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I might be almost done with the book. I was 48% of the way through. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been reading this dang book. Finally at 50%. So right after I had finished that chapter that brought me to 50%, my interest peaked. I forgot what happened though. Oh, yeah. The first like main thing happened at 50%. I was like, okay, my interest is peaked. But then it kind of went down again. But then it peaked again at 63% and then again at 73%. With that being said, because if I don't say it now, I'm gonna forget, I am giving it a 3.5. As I was reading it, especially when I first started it, I'm like, ugh, this is gonna be a 3-star. Even though I could definitely pick out some things that I didn't like, I was still able to read the whole thing and not really complain. Like, yeah, I was motivated to finish it because I wanted to finish it, but also because I wanted to know how it ended. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I'll give it that 3.5. Oh, okay, when I was 55% of the way through, that's when I said I currently was not interested in Mythic's point of view. His additional POV, I think, is what's making this not feel like a domestic thriller. Yeah, his additional POV, I'm like, I don't know. It's not very thrilling, to be honest. But of course, his POV made sense, you know, once you get towards the end and it adds a little something to it. Yeah, I said, and I kind of mentioned that already, but his storyline with the cartels just felt so separate at the time to everything else. I also said that I didn't really highlight as much in the book, which is why I felt like, you know, I maybe wasn't enjoying it as much, but that's also normal for a non-romance. 63% is when the next big thing happened. I'm not saying what it is, but I thought that escalated too quick because I'm like, okay, that's only 63% of the way through. What are we about to be doing for the rest of the book? Now, mind you, the way it ended was fine. But at the time, I'm like, oh, I feel like this should maybe happen at like 80%. Now, my thoughts after finishing. Let's see what I said, because I sure don't remember. Let's see. I'm going to just read it. It's not a favorite, but there was something that pushed me to... Okay, I did say that already. Oh, yeah. So, let's get into the ending. I enjoyed the ending, meaning the juxtaposition. We get some comparisons at the end. We kind of get two different endings. And I enjoyed that, but at the same time, I did not, because I don't know if it's the empath in me. Obviously, the person deserved what was coming, but at the same time, it was so hard to read, and I couldn't, like, I really wanted to just put the book down, and I actually started regretting finishing the book. Now, mind you, I was trying to, like, tell myself what that person did. For me personally, it tore me up. I was up early this morning. I was able to download Resisting Temptation. I've already started it. I'm 14% of the way through. Oh, and I wrote it down. I wrote down some notes just about the book, because this is book 2. You do not need to read book 1 first. It's called Indulging Temptation. Personally, me, even if they're interconnected books, like they're just part of the same series, but it's different characters, different storylines, I still like to read them in order. As I was starting this one, because I still remember some of the things from the first book, it was also good to kind of read it here, and I just jotted it down. So the tropes in here are best friend's brother, fake dating to marriage of convenience. I love Best Friend's Brother. Marriage of Convenience I do enjoy, and fake dating I don't enjoy that as much as I used to, but I also haven't really outgrown it so much that I don't read it at all. Ooh, I thought I didn't press record. I was gonna get nervous. The main characters in here are Serena and, oh y'all, I'm about to butcher that pronunciation. Pretty sure it's pronounced like Tomas. First book, the two characters from there were Lorena. She's the sister of Tomas in this book. And then Tino from the first book, who was the love interest. I think that was short for Santino. He is best friend of Tomas, and he also is brothers with Dante. But in case he gets a book and I keep this paper, it'll remind me who he is and his connection. I don't know what Serena does. She was mentioned in the first book, but I do not remember. But Tomas is an attorney. I'll just tell you where I'm at. Tomas and Serena are getting it on. They're gonna kind of have like a one night stand, but somehow they're gonna start fake dating, and then that fake dating is gonna turn into a marriage of convenience. Like they're actually gonna get married. Okay, Serena is bisexual, because she did say that, so I'm like, ooh, let me write that down. And she's half Puerto Rican. Every time I see the word Puerto Rican, I always think of Puerto Rican. Wait, how she said that? Ooh, I'm feeling Puerto Rican.
I felt like a Spanish, like a Puerto Rican in this hair. I felt Puerto Rican. Y'all know I love me some Puerto Rican.
Every time I see that, that's how I say it in my head. And then Tomas is Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican. One of the things that I love in this book, and I loved in the first book, were text messages. Those are really fun to read because I'm like, that's exactly what I would say as well. Now, the one thing that I will note, I remember reading the first book and saying, because Lorena, whatever her name was, Lorena from the first book was very silly. And I was like, that's not bad, because I know I don't hate quirky characters, but sometimes it can be too much. And I remember being introduced to Serena in the first book. I just don't really remember anymore. But I remember at the time, my sentiments were, I hope that when we do get her book, that her personality isn't the exact same as the FMC from the first book. She is a bit silly, a bit quirky, but I don't think it's as bad as I remember it being in the first book. And I mean, they are part of the same friend group, so it kind of makes sense that they might have similar personalities, but like also, oh, it just turned off. But like also, I would expect them to have their own personality. You feel me? I'm reading that today. We'll see if I continue and like read it all, because I know this book is going to be spicy, and I'm not really in a spicy mood, but because I've read NJ Weeks before, I kind of know what to expect. Hi. I don't even have my Kindle with me, but it is Saturday. I thought I would close out the video because Friday is now complete. I ended up reading, hold on, it doesn't feel right to not have my Kindle. Not that you can even see the cover, but I didn't finish the book yesterday. The Ritual Tempest, Resisting Temptation. I was getting there. I didn't finish it yesterday, but I did read until 38%. I messed up on my story graph last night and I put 35%, but it was 38%. I did not read much yesterday at all. Did I even read on my lunch break? I know I took a lunch break, but I didn't record because I knew I was gonna most likely close out the video on this Saturday, but I only read until 38% of the book. However, this morning I did continue reading and I'm at about 60%. So my goal is definitely to finish it. I just won't be telling y'all my final thoughts because that's not the point of the video. It just so happens that I wasn't able to finish the book. However, if I do end up finishing the book before this video is obviously out, I'll put my rating. But I'll tell you now, right now, I'm at a 4-star. It's just one of those books where it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of the synopsis telling you all of the book. I like for my synopsis to tell me just a little bit, and I expect to hit those points within the first 50 to 100 pages. Obviously 50 if it's already a short book, 100 if it's a longer book. Between that little page range, I expect to hit some of the things that you're telling me in the synopsis. And that's not what this is doing. You know, I was under the impression, hey, they're going to fake date, it's gonna turn into a fake marriage. They just started talking about the fake marriage, or well, it's not a fake marriage, it's a real marriage. They really are getting married, but are they even married right now though? I think they are. That was at like 50% of the book. And now I'm trying to think about what went on at the very beginning to get here and why did it take so long to get here? But I don't know. But it's not bad. I'm enjoying the book. I enjoy NJ Weeks as an author. I just didn't finish it, so. But I'm planning on, as soon as I'm done here, to continue reading it. Let's see how long I have left. Because I don't like turning this off and on, so by me turning it on now, as soon as I'm done, we getting back to reading. Let's see. I'm 60%, like I said. I have an hour 47 left, which is not bad. I think I read a little over an hour this morning, or not quite an hour, because I don't remember exactly how much time I had left in the book. Look how big my my font is. If you reach the end of this video, comment down below this emoji, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully.